Live
from
the Strength Shop, episode 3 from
Tyndall Barbell, Tyndall, Manitoba.
I'm Andrew Langler, Pro Strongman.
I'm Gord and Andrew, Lightweight Master Champion, 2023. Yeah, here we are again.
Here we are again.
I was just busting my partner's balls here because he didn't make a post for episode 2.
Do apologize for that.
So we'll get the social media thing figured out.
We'll figure it out eventually.
We're going to have to figure that one out.
You're old and I'm unwilling, so we'll figure it out at some point. But
I'm training you to be crusty.
Exactly.
So
last week you guys got our ramblings after about an hour and a half of getting set up, and this week magically everything worked perfectly.
Yeah, minutes.
So now you're going to get our ramblings of pure disbelief that we actually got to go in first thing.
7:18 on a Monday night. We were gonna record yesterday, but Andrew wasn't feeling the best.
Yeah, still I'm not feeling sick and just beat.
Yeah,
just a little under the weather, so I just took a day to chill.
Training or
I don't know. I think I kind of just dodged sick. Like I brushed up against something, and
so I hit it like a freight train.
Well, yeah, you got it bad. Everyone in my office got it really badly. Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of thinking that I dodged it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did not feel great. Wasn't any symptoms, just couldn't put it together properly. Right. So it's annoying, but especially not 20 days out from the Arnold.
I was on Monday. Like I got sick the Friday a little bit. I couldn't train, and then I had the Saturday, Sunday where I was really sick. So Monday, I ended up bringing a bottle of Benylin to work with me. So I had it on my desk, and I could hear my coworker just coughing in her office. I'm like, "You okay in there, bro?" She's like, "I'm dying." I said, "I got a brand new bottle of Benylin. You want some?" Hit me. I threw it in her office like a grenade.
And that
Here,
bottle
take
was
this.
Just gone.
Yeah. It's pretty much halfway gone. I just put it on the counter, and everybody's just been taking swigs of it. Hopefully, not putting their mouth on it, but
yeah, you'd hope not. But
yeah, I didn't look, but
oh, jeez, it's like the water fountain just.
Yeah, the dirtiest thing ever. Trying to get healthy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying not to get sick. You're not helping.
Yeah, it didn't help.
So it seems like it just nicked me, which is fine. So I feel okay. Session today still sucked, but I'm just kind of getting over that. So got really 1.5 training weeks left before I got to start tapering down. So
yeah, I don't know if you're freaking out like I am, but
yeah.
I
mean, it's my first international show. It's my pro debut, so it's a little bit of nerves.
Oh, yeah, it is. You got to get those. You got to get the first one out of the system too. And it's like you say that tongue in cheek because you're like, "Oh, just go try, see how it is." But we're competitors.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like
nobody wants to. There's not just a try and see how it goes kind of thing, right?
Well, and it's not a huge field either.
No,
there's only 29 guys signed up for the men.
Okay,
and there's some monsters. But it's one of those things where it's like everyone's going down there because they want to be on the top.
Yeah,
and someone won't be. So we're just going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at this point, it's like I've done the work. I knew going into this that I wasn't going to have the prep that I wanted, given the fact that I had no off season. But I took a month off of lifting anything heavy just to rehab my shoulder after nationals, and then dove right back into this. So it's like I haven't really had a chance to build. It's kind of just been like nationals, then right into this.
Yeah.
And I really won't
you only
have
had a few weeks in between each, really.
Yeah, I mean, nationals was Thanksgiving weekend.
Yep.
And then 12 weeks out would have been December 1st.
Right.
So, take a week after nationals to, chill another week because realistically, yeah. And then, 4 weeks of kind of bodybuilding stuff and then right back into strength blocks and contest prep work. So it's been a tight turnaround.
Right.
And I mean, I am doing Keystone just because powerlifting. Still have a couple of personal goals there that I'd like to do.
For sure. You got some big numbers.
Not the smartest thing to do, but right now I'm looking. Well, I'm definitely good for north of 2K, which will be the first time in Manitoba. So I'd like to do that, just tick it off, kind of thing.
It could be a payout too.
There could be a payout, and I like prize money.
You are motivated by money.
I am motivated by money.
I am too.
And then, I mean, Westerns in 6 weeks, which the events are pretty good for me.
Right.
So I want to bring a good package there.
It does look fun. That is honestly a show that I would even like to just come as a spectator. But
well, you're competing.
I got other stuff to do. So
yeah. So
we got our own competition.
I'll be honest. Like if Keystone didn't have prize money potential, I probably would have dropped out of it as soon as I saw the Westerns events.
Yeah. Then it's just another local meaningless meet.
Yeah. No, and genuinely, if the events for Westerns, if it wasn't for the prize money potential, because I'm like, I do want to do one more powerlifting meet,
right?
And then kind of like fully committed to strongman,
right?
Because I'm just like, I wouldn't feel right not hitting that 2K. I've said that I've wanted to do that for years. So it's kind of like, that's a chance to potentially win money.
Right.
I got to do it.
Yeah.
The events at Westerns are great. I'll have time to kind of prep into it. It is what it is.
Right. So what's a 2K total look like for you?
You made me do math.
Wow.
Live.
Okay. What's your projected squat, if you don't mind talking about it?
Well, even let's just say now. You gotta pull out the calculator and do math.
You're supposed to know these things right off the top of your
my
head.
Teachers told me I wouldn't have a calculator, and now I do. So we're projecting right now minimum 750 squat. Training bench was 475 minus 2,000. So we'd have to deadlift 775, which is very doable.
Wheelhouse,
yeah. So it's like 2K is pretty.
Yeah, and you're not
set in stone. And
I don't think there's any issues with you getting reds on your squats.
I've never had a red light. I've never had a red light. No, that's a lie. My first meet, I re-racked it.
Right.
Swore. Brock yelled at me for swearing, and I've never had a red light since.
That is one thing I miss about powerlifting, getting yelled at by Brock.
Oh, it's good times. You just get soundtrack of Brock yelling.
It's just
at
not
people.
the same anymore. Now he's legit mad. Before he used to be he was just crabby mad.
He was crabby mad.
Now it's like, I feel like he's just a different kind of mad now.
He's just like genuinely upset.
I love Brock.
But such a good dude. For those of you who don't know Brock Haywood, he's a longtime member of the MPA, and he has just this amazing curled mustache.
Yeah, and he's all business. When it comes to powerlifting, he is all business. I love it. I think it's great. It taught me a lot. And
him and Sue are just some of the most... I would say they're kind of to powerlifting, not in age, but in terms of like generosity and welcoming people into what you and Jocelyn are in Strongman.
Yeah.
Or at least what you guys have been to me. They were very much the same way with that in powerlifting.
Yeah, that is something that we definitely learned from them. My first powerlifting meet, I thought, this guy hates me. These people hate me. There's no question. Then after they come and chat, like we're best, encouraging.
But they hold you to a high standard.
Oh yeah. I love that. And I
encourage
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a shock. I was like, this powerlifting thing, I don't know about this. But
Well, and Brock,
I'm getting yelled at here. I'm just.
And it turns out Brock loves strongman too.
Oh, he does. He was a strongman competitor.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But I was over at their place because I picked up those 50-kilo Eleco plates for the gym.
Right.
And we were just talking strongman, and he loves strongman.
Yeah. So he's always liking my stuff, and he's interactive with. It seems like he really enjoys the strongman stuff. So I'd like to see him come out, and
they're wonderful people.
maybe
we'll come out.
Yeah,
just try it out.
Come out. We'll have him on one Saturday.
Oh, and Sue was a bodybuilder.
Sue was a bodybuilder.
And, of the two of them, we're talking about Brock a lot here.
We are. We should talk about Sue too.
Sue is, I think, more accomplished, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe
she's been at a higher level more. I know Brock had some injuries and stuff, but I know Sue is still competing at an international level. She was a bodybuilder for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Just real icons of Manitoba strength sports in general.
Stuff like that gets you fired up.
Absolutely.
Because you're like, no, there's no quit. There's no quit in those people, and I love that. Because I talk to so many people that I've grown up with or that are around my age, and they're like, oh, I'm too old. And man, that just irritates me. Because you're never too old. You know what I mean? Yeah, you may not be at your best, but maybe you could get to your best.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Like, even I was at Iron today and just training, doing my log there, and I asked, there was a lady on the Eleco bench.
Yep.
I said to her, I was like, so I'm trying to film from the side and just to fit myself in the frame. I was over on the turf there, just trying to take the platform.
Yep.
So I said, like, hey, do you mind if I film across your platform? I'm trying to figure out my knee position and stuff. More on that later.
Yeah.
But she was telling me, she's like, oh, like, do you do this a lot? Like, what's the difference between like this and a press? So I was explaining to her about she's like, oh, like, should an average person be using like this implement? I'm like, not really. Like it's a competition thing, but like it's annoying and you're gonna be angry about it, so don't bother.
If you're a rookie lifter, it's not the place to start.
But then she was telling me about how she's like 72 years old. She had a heart attack 4 years ago, and now she's back benching. She was benching, I think it was like 75, 80 pounds for sets of like 6 to 8.
Nice.
And I'm like, that's awesome. Like that's a badass grandma right there.
For older people, it is intimidating. You come in and there's big meatheads like us smashing big weights. There's nothing in it that screams, "Come hang out with us." But that is something we're trying to build.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think I look friendly.
You look pretty friendly.
Yeah.
I may be, on the other hand, not so friendly.
Well, did you see? Also, I'm going to do another one. Speaking of social media, we'll get up there. I'll do another one, but give us topics. But I put one on my personal Instagram, and someone just said, bro, you need to smile more. Life's not that serious. And I'm like, tell me you've never hung out with me in real life ever.
100%.
I think I'm pretty smiley.
No, you're a smiley dude.
So it's like, holy cow.
I'm trying to convert you into crustiness. And it's working a little bit.
It's working a little bit. You're getting me slowly but surely.
I can get you complaining pretty good.
I got to watch myself, but it's okay.
I won't wreck you, I promise.
One of these days.
But yeah, no. Where do we start when we went there? Powerlifting.
Brock, Sue, powerlifting.
I was looking at my old.
We're talking about Keystone.
Keystone. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So if you don't know, the Westerns events are out. Yeah, I like them for me.
It looks
a lot.
I just like it for entertainment.
Oh yeah, and
like Tyler was saying on his podcast, shout out to the Iron Age podcast.
Yes, we don't have beef. Radio. Remember that.
We have beef. I mean, we don't have beef. I was laughing. I'm listening to it going, people actually said to him, are you mad that they're making a podcast?
I know. But this is the thing. It's like, and to be clear, like, I will never rat anyone out. I'll never rat names. But like people,
he's gonna rat them to
people come to me, always. But people come to me and they feel like I'm a safe space to just smack talk people.
Yeah.
I'm not. Like,
so stop it.
You come to me. It was like, I'm sorry, if you come to me and smack talk another competitor, I probably think a little bit less of you.
Yeah.
And I will always just come clean. It's like, hey, look, Tyler, people think we have beef. So like, if you ever see that come up, like, yeah, people come to me about that. I don't drop names, but people think we have beef. I like Tyler.
Yeah.
We're good buddies. Yeah. It is what it is.
He gave us a shout out.
Yeah.
We talk more.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Shelby.
Also, be nice to Jeanne.
Yeah. Jeanne's a very nice girl.
Yeah. She's doing Shelby's hair.
Yeah.
Be nice.
So we can't, we definitely don't want her to screw that up.
No. And plus, if you're mean, then I might not be able to see the dogs. And I really like Dolly and Honey.
I love the dogs.
They're so cute.
That's true.
We need more bulldogs in Manitoba Strongman. Not me, because I can't afford them, but someone else should get more
You can't
bulldogs.
afford A, to purchase it, and B, to get the surgeries when their butts start leaking. And
that was the best part about Keystone, actually. So the Keystone's a production.
Yeah.
They do a very good job of making it a big show.
Fair
what
enough.
people don't realize is how much back-end work, you did it right this time, you don't realize how much back-end work goes into that level of production. So
it does blow my mind.
When we went last year, right, as spectators, they had like these big elaborate intros for everyone, and they had, I didn't realize, but they had the interviews with the top 3 lifters.
Right.
And you're thinking, I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, like, that they did all this. But what you didn't see was the like 8 hours of behind the scenes where it's like they're sitting us down there interviewing. It was a lot. I think we were there at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. I got there, and I didn't leave.
Yeah, because you were late for whatever we wanted to do.
No, I missed everything. I missed the entire thing.
I'm like, wow, just powerlifting over me. Great
but
friend.
it was, I think, 1:30 I got out of there, and I don't think the rest of them cleared out of there until almost 3.
Yeah.
And it's like, but that's just what it takes. Like, shout out to Cornerstone for being cool about it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But
yeah, you took up quite a bit of
it
their
took
quite a bit more of
we
their
took
time.
the whole gym. And basically it was like they had an hour of just asking us to do random warm-up things. And I'm looking at LaDanny and I'm like, I don't warm up, man. So like LaDanny and I are there trying to make curls look super dramatic. And we're doing,
Did you look jacked AF though?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
But they had us do it all in the singlet, and I'm just like, okay, like
I could look way cuter.
I could look way cooler. Yeah, it's like put me in a sweatsuit and hide all the belly.
Yeah.
Way cooler. But you know, it's a huge production. So
it is. And honestly, after watching it last year, I'm like, that is a lot more effort than I would ever put into powerlifting.
No, totally.
I give credit to the people that do care that much, because they're not even really getting anything out of it.
Well,
I don't
also,
know if there's
like,
money to be
Tommy
made. Really,
and Kurt do not compete.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
They have a couple athletes of their own, but like Curtis Tiller, he's been around since before you or I, and he hasn't competed since you or I were around early days.
I think him and I laugh still because I think it was one of my first powerlifting competitions where I pulled a deadlift. I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know to breathe out at the top. And it was a heavy for me deadlift. It was like 440 or something like that at the time. And I put the bar down, and the lights went out. I tipped right over face first, and he ended up catching me just before I smashed my face on the ground.
Oh my goodness.
It was embarrassing.
And you were still complaining about that deadlift suit, but you had all this experience passing out.
Well, it was
tight. Used to it.
I want to hit it again.
I'm not looking forward to buying one of those after Westerns. One, because they're expensive. Holy cow.
Yeah.
And two,
$500 probably.
Yeah, I think it was $500 because Jeffers had his done custom, which was probably the route.
Metal.
He had a metal one. Yeah. I might go with the Cerberus because my understanding is that it's not powerlifting compliant.
Right.
Which leads me to believe there's a little bit of extra in there.
They actually say, like I was chatting with a lot of the guys at OSG, and they do say the Cerberus one is 10% more than a metal one. But I think the older metal ones, I don't know if you've seen the orange ones, the super multiply ones or whatever, those ones are hard to find now, because now I went on the site and it seems like it's more, I think the Jack, I don't know. I can't remember which ones they are, but they're not expensive. They're like $240 US by the time you get it here. It's
That's where it adds up is the dollar, right? So
yeah, exactly.
I think
Unless you can do I got to start maybe looking into doing the dropping it at the border thing there and going around and get it.
I really have no excuse because Ryder's in Emerson every week.
So we got to start using Ryder.
Absolutely. Yes.
We're good.
Yeah, we're sad.
Ryder,
you're
going to be doing some stuff
He was
for us.
very sad because he realized he ages out of teen this year. He turns 18 on May 4th.
Oh, big boy time.
Yeah, so he's got to go to 105. And I'm like, do you see why I had you diet down now? It's like, yep, absolutely. So that'll be fun. You can go up against Pat if Pat ever gets off his butt and starts training again.
Pat's pretty much a 90 kg now.
He's a bodybuilder now. Again.
Yeah.
He's going back to his
Snapchat
roots.
the other day. He was all jacked up, and I'm like, nice filter, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of oil in the background.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
I'm not mad, but.
Yeah, he claims that wasn't a filter, but
I see.
nobody's that jacked.
He doesn't know that it tells you there's a filter on the bottom.
Yeah.
Farmer Pat.
Farmer Pat. Yeah, Tyler's talking about how hard he works.
Farmer Pat. Yeah.
Farmer Pat doesn't wake up till 10.
Yeah.
And then Farmer Pat is for sure napping by 12.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's his blood sugar. If he misses his morning banana.
Yeah. Which he eats for shape, not flavor.
Absolutely. Good old Pat.
But
we love you, buddy.
Pat,
Get back
I'm
to
sorry.
training.
Pat, I give you kudos for fooling people. You ain't fooling me, okay, pal?
Yeah. We know you don't work. Get back to training.
Get back to training, you lazy, weak-ass bum.
Yeah. Guy wins Tolstoy last year. Doesn't come back to defend.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Oof, this is a call-out.
We
weren't doing call-outs? We're doing call-outs
No, we're doing
now.
call-outs. What are you, Devin, vacating your title? Come on.
They'll both come back and smash everybody.
Absolutely they will. Well, I don't know about Devin. He's kind of old now.
He's just got that anger inside him.
There's a lot of
He's an angry
there.
lifter.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll. He did. I did laugh when he picked up those Denny rings. Were you down there with us? It was me, Tyler, and
just dummies
picked
him.
up the Denny rings.
Just
for no
dummies
reason.
him.
Yeah.
Well, he does have a bad habit of doing dumb things because what did he drink? 20 beers, went bench pressing, and blew a pec?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my coach. That's who I listen to.
Listen to is a strong word.
Well, yeah, we had a bit of an argument on Saturday.
Reluctantly obey.
I wasn't an argument. I was just being me, being whatever. Freaking
Overthinking.
out. Over freaking out, panicking. His wife had to jump in and stick up for him. It was right after the Alec.
And that's when you shut up real quick.
I'm like, damn, they're both after me now.
Yeah. You'll learn one.
And then I proceeded to pull 650 for 3 yesterday, and he gave me an old. Do you trust me now? Was his exact words. I'm like, yeah, I trusted you before. I just wanted to be an asshole.
That's fair. Yeah, you do succeed.
A butthole. Sorry.
Well, I think gas is all right.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't care.
I'll just drop it like
I don't
very
I don't live
rarely.
at home now. It's fine. Whatever.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
You're probably not
She
gonna
can text me violently and nag me, but whatever.
She's not going to take away your supper.
I don't think she's going to listen at this point, honestly. She's probably just, I don't know what's going on here. I'm bored. I'm teaching kindergarten. I got better things to do than listen to this.
Yeah. My kindergartner, my giant kindergartner.
Exactly. Yeah. She still gets mad though that she taught me to handwrite wrong.
Really?
So if you
How
look
do you
at,
teach somebody to handwrite wrong?
So the way I hold a pen, apparently you're
wrong
supposed to hold it like this. And that's why my handwriting's so terrible. But I hold it like this. I hold it like
your
a
handwriting's
sketch.
terrible because you hold it in the wrong hand.
Also, yes. But you know what's weird?
That's how you hold a pen.
the
What's
only
wrong with
thing I
that?
do lefty.
That's what you do?
No. You have it here on this finger.
Yeah.
I hold mine here on this knuckle.
Oh, yeah, that's 100% wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong hand and you can't
And
hold
wrong
a pen.
hand and a hand hold a pen.
Wow. Let's see.
But it's
things
so
you learn about
ingrained
your
now.
friends.
It's just like, oh yeah, I'm a kindergarten teacher. It never occurred to her, but you don't figure that out when you're like tracing things in a book.
Did you have the old blue hand from smearing your hand across the pen?
Yeah. Well, no, it was worse
Smeared paper?
when I was drawing. Like when I was heavy into the art stuff and we do like charcoal stuff, and I like be drawing. And then all of a sudden my whole piece is just
Smeared.
It's like, start
Yeah, my
again.
oldest daughter's a lefty too, so
Yeah, it's a pain sometimes, but whatever.
because you got to reach around so you can see what you're
The
doing.
worst,
too, right?
actually, I realized this at MPI the other day. Anywhere you go where they have the pen like chained into the little holder,
Yeah.
you have to reach across, and it's always in your way.
Oh,
There's
it's for a
never
right-hander.
one on the left side.
You might want to think about protesting.
Discrimination.
Yeah.
I might. Come on, Wob.
I'd take
Get
a
on
day
it.
off. Take a day off work to protest.
Absolutely. I will.
I'm anti-protests, but
I will be heard.
yeah,
Just me.
Make your voice heard.
Yeah.
Outside that, a particular MPI. You know what? I'll come with you.
I'll bring that train horn. You know one. At work, we have a drill-powered train horn. You can hear it for like 2 miles. It's great.
Yeah, that's the lunch bell, or what's that? What do you
No,
use
it's
it
an impact train horn. No, for fire drills.
for? Oh, fire drills.
Yeah, it was like $500.
Wow.
Yeah, we're
That's
just
an
like, we
investment
need
in a
this.
fire drill.
Yeah, we need this.
As soon as a real fire drill goes,
there
people, it's chaos anyway.
There was
everybody's
room in
going.
the safety budget, and we went, this is for safety.
Is it DeWalt?
It actually is, yeah. Yeah, there were different options, but we already had a DeWalt battery on site, so we
Right.
were able to get that
So you
one.
gotta match it
You
up.
get like Milwaukee or Makita. I
Fair
think there
enough.
was
No sense buying one if you don't have the right drill.
exactly, but yeah, get the right battery, right? So, but no, so that was good. You're really dying over there.
Getting
Eh?
good, eh?
You are getting
How come
good.
I'm coughing
It's
more and I
quick.
feel better?
I don't know.
It's my lungs. They're half percent. They're
They're
half percent,
expelling
half
the
a
rest
percent.
of it.
50%.
They're expelling the rest of the sickness.
That's right.
That's how it works.
Get that junk out of me.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, so the weekend though had the seminar.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It was almost mine. Like there was just so much. He's like, take notes, take notes. I'm like, I had to stop because I'm like, I'm gonna need the video because
So I
I'm
did
already
take a lot of
blown.
notes, and I think I had a bit of an advantage going in because I do program for people, whereas
But do you program like that?
pretty similarly. And actually, it was really cool because I was saying to Guy, I'm like, yeah, he's citing all this Soviet stuff, like
Yeah,
the
you do like the
Prelepins
Soviet
table, which is
stuff,
like, yeah, we do a lot of the Shaco modified.
What was
kind
the
of
table? What was it?
Soviet-inspired
The chart?
Prelepins.
Prelepins. Okay, I
You
couldn't kind
spell
of
it
understand,
in
but
some way or
yeah,
another.
I wrote
No
it
one
down
actually
and
knows.
that's what I wrote, but I wasn't sure if
Yeah,
that's what I was
no
saying.
one actually knows how it's spelled, so like you're good.
Just sound it out.
Just sound it out, and you'll get
Probably
somewhere
some
close.
Soviet sounds angry when they say it anyway.
Exactly. Prelepins chart,
Yeah,
whatever.
something
Yeah,
like that.
that's French.
All right.
But yeah, honestly, really good. And I liked the way that he laid it out with the different phases and the phasic work,
Yeah.
and then kind of the working backwards. And again, it's kind of a lot of stuff which I already reinforced, kind of reinforced what I already know and do. But it was nice to hear it from a different perspective.
I feel like you don't go deep enough into the first one for your own training.
I don't, but again, too, it's. I've also kind of been riding on the fact that I just kind of have good conditioning.
Yeah.
And I just seem kind of lucky that way.
Right.
Like I've never gassed out in an event.
Right. I don't even think it's about gassing out. I think that first phase is more about building muscle tissue to push your top end higher. You know what I mean? That's the way I'm. That's the way I was kind of understanding
your
it.
first phase would be your muscular endurance phase.
Yeah. Very
Then
similar
you
to
get into
hypertrophy. Yeah.
But the muscular endurance,
he
you're
called
not
it technical hypertrophy, or what did he call it?
functional. So
Functional
yeah,
hypertrophy, but it wasn't the same rep scheme as normal hypertrophy. Hypertrophy to me is like 8 to 10 reps.
Yeah, so the way I look at it is basically your muscular endurance block, which is you're not near enough failure to generate meaningful hypertrophy.
Right.
It's kind of that's where you're talking about the time-based stuff, and this
Yeah.
is diabolical. And clients, you might get some of this. He'd give them 2 exercises, and then do it for time.
Yeah. I was
So it's
kind of
like you
hoping
get
Devin didn't
10
hear that
minutes
part.
of work. Yeah, it sounds terrible.
I'm
But I'm like,
pretty
that
sure he
sounds
heard.
amazing. But I mean, that's kind of like your EMOMs, your
Yep.
Tabata work, 30-30s, whatever, and just getting the work in. But nothing's ever really close to failure. When you get to the hypertrophy phase, you're going to start taking those sets with more focus on muscle coordination and like working the muscles.
Muscle coordination, muscle
With-
growth.
Yeah, with the muscular endurance, you're probably going to be doing more compound stuff for lighter reps for longer.
Right.
Whereas then you'll still be doing compound work, and Dr. Mike Israel said it really well. Whereas if you get really jacked doing bicep curls and hamstring curls, and then try to deadlift 600 pounds, you're not going to have generated anything meaningful.
Right.
So like, use variations of what you would use. And that's where I say like a hypertrophy phase is going to suck. Whereas like you're doing hack squats, RDLs, deficit deadlifts with a snatch grip, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you're doing that for 8 to 10. Yeah. Well, now you're really suffering.
Yeah.
And then to me, the functional hypertrophy, that's where I tend to live in for most of the year.
Right.
If I'm being honest. And a lot of it is because of the last year, and after Westerns, I'll get to have a proper full pullback to muscular endurance.
Right.
But I've kind of been living in that because my shows have all been like 6 to 10 weeks apart.
True. And you're responding to, you're younger, and I feel like your response is still better. Until that response starts to stop,
Well,
then
if I
you
ever
have to start rethinking
and
things.
if I ever told Guy I'm dying, I need a total back off, we'd do it.
Oh, for sure.
But it just hasn't hit that point where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, things are still good.
Yeah.
So we've been kind of just recycling that functional hypertrophy and then moving into peaking phases.
Right.
And most of the functional hypertrophy work is, I'll keep a competition movement in because just for practice. So it'll be something like 75, 85% for doubles, triples, nothing meaningful where it's
Yeah.
going to fatigue me.
Yep.
And then I'll go and hit like SSB for sets of 8. And then, leg press, leg curls, all that kind of stuff for sets of 6 to 8 to 10.
Yep.
And then I find out the functional hypertrophy, I prefer to bring the reps down a little bit on everything.
Right.
Except for like the really focused movements. 'Cause I don't love the feeling of taking like a seated hamstring curl to failure on 8 reps. don't love it. I'd rather pump it a little higher, get some more blood in there. It just feels nicer.
Yeah.
Then when you get to the peaking, I approach it a little differently than most people, I think, where a lot of people take the peaking and they go, I'm going to hit a single and ramp that up every single week. And to me, peaking is just reps over 85%.
Right.
So when I'm in a peaking phase, I know you like to take things very heavy, very close to the show.
Yeah.
I'll probably hit my last singles around like 18, 21 days out.
Right.
And then it's just a little bit of volume and tapering down into it. But most of my work will be over 85%. And to me, 85% plus is sufficient enough practice at heavy loads. So, example, like with my bench, well, 80% is still 385.
Right.
That's sufficient to get good practice under a heavy load.
Right.
Because at a certain point, everything's just like, well, it's just there in my hands.
Yeah.
And it's worked really well for me.
And you can make jokes and make Instagram videos with
Exactly.
385 on your chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Singing songs.
I'm
That was
emulating
385,
my
wasn't it? What is
yeah,
it?
it was 385.
Yeah, 385.
Yeah, I just
No big
refuse to
deal.
use 35-pound plates whenever I can.
I hate 35-pound plates. We have them. I use them to, what do we use them for? To hold down the leg press?
Pretty much.
I don't put them on anything.
No,
It's 25s, 10s.
They're terrible.
Yeah, the sets is 45, 25, 10, 5, 2.5.
Yes. And
100-pound plates are dumb.
I like 100-pound plates.
I knew that.
To me,
yeah, but
the 35-pound plate is
I think you should
a
have to
scam
haul.
by Big Jim.
I think you should have to haul a 200-pound plate because proportional to your size.
Sure.
I put those 100-pound plates away last time.
They're great.
I wasn't
But
happy with you.
I don't haul them. I roll them.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
they're this
rolled them
thick.
too, but
Roll.
I probably didn't
cling.
roll them. I probably picked them
You
up.
picked them up, yeah.
I'm dumb.
That's your own fault. But no, I hate 35-pound plates because it is a scam for gym owners to have to spend more money on plates instead of nicer equipment.
Yeah, you can get that nice pyramid on the end of the bar though, so then nobody knows what you have on the bar.
Or just
Because
add
by the
another
time you start
45.
adding that mental
That
math,
drives
like
me
whatever,
crazy.
I quit. Yeah,
That drives me crazy. There's a crew at Brick House, like Janelle started it years ago.
Okay.
And then Dan Hershirzhen's doing it now,
Yeah.
where they'll add like kilo plates and then a bumper plate and then like various metal plates of different makes and models. And I'm just like, I'm not an OCD person, but I know you're doing this out of spite for somebody.
Right.
And it drives me crazy. Not because it
I
bothers
don't know
me.
if they're doing it out of spite. We were just at
Oh, no,
Brick
they
House
are.
on the weekend,
They specifically talk
and it
about
was
it.
silly trying to find plates that matched. We were doing the yoke, and I were like, okay, I need. I
Just
want
need more plates.
I want 20. There's plenty of plates, but none of them match.
Oh no, I'm not talking about like steel plates that are all different.
No,
I'm
no,
talking about like
I'm talking
totally
about just
different plates.
Yeah, like you pull off a 25 and then you get a 10 kilo, and then a 25 and you're like, well, they look identical. I had two plates in my hand that looked identical. One was 10 kilos and one was 25 pounds. And I'm like, and then we're like, okay, well, we got to put this one in that corner, this corner. No, that's a 10 kilo. This is oh my goodness.
Just trying to arrange everything.
Yeah, we had the calculators out. I'm like,
75.
I don't even know what I have on here. Hopefully it's a lot.
Yeah, 75.
75. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pain. Like, and that's
was
part
fun,
of being in a gym is like I usually train with pound plates unless I'm having to pull. So there are times where like with the trap bar, like the trap bar actually bends more if I have the pound plates, so I'll put the kilo plates on. It'll still bend, but not
well, yeah,
nearly as
because
badly,
they're smaller
right?
diameter or smaller thickness.
Or if I'm doing the axle, like there are
They
times where I'm
just don't
going
look as
heavy enough.
impressive.
They don't.
Like we do deadlifts for dreams with the kilo plates. I'm like, can we just
Use
put
the
bumpers on?
big, deep
I want to
dish
see
pound
big
plates.
bumpers. I want to see. I want it to look way stronger than I am.
Yeah. Oh no, I totally agree on that front because I mean like
Okay, we're gonna have like a protest on deadlifts for dreams. then.
absolutely. Yeah, we'll sit in there like we want bumper plates.
We're just gonna
we
hide all
want
the kilo
bumper
plates. We'll go out the night before.
That's a
to Devon's.
great idea.
We'll hide the kilo plates.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I like
I'm a smart
this.
man. Stick with me.
You are. Yeah, those smart moves.
Screw kilo plates.
Yeah, no, terrible.
He's got the steel, like the calibrated pound plates too. Those we're hiding those too.
Anything calibrated.
Anything in that dimension.
Anything pretty colors.
Okay.
I want old, rusty, clang and bang
Yeah.
plates. That was like Ron
Ones that are like could be like 3 pounds light or 3 pounds heavy.
Oh, man, Ron Caden and I used to train at Centennial City Gym, and the saddest day at that gym was they got rid of they had these beautiful deep dish York standard plates.
Oh.
They got rid of everything.
Come on.
For the like plastic
Vinyl
covered
coated.
handle plates.
Grippy plates.
And like I was genuinely upset.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, that was like
McDonald's had
genuinely
those.
upsetting.
I can't remember what brand they were, but they were interlocking. They had.
I hate those.
They look
Guy,
cool.
Guy has some of them at
Does he?
acceleration, but the thing is,
He
like,
might have got the set then.
they're just super annoying.
Yeah.
They're just super annoying. I don't like them.
I didn't like them then, but I kind of like the look now.
But it's just the
I don't
same
know
thing as
why.
kilo plates. They get tighter.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, just give me the big deep dish clanging.
I like my
want
Fitness
that
Depot
jingle
plates.
jangle.
I like them to match. So like obviously, if you see my videos, most of my plates are always matching. And
I do like that. And like, so at Iron, like one of the things that it drives me a little bit crazy sometimes is like, I'll try to warm up really quickly. Because if all of the nice plates under the blue rack are there, I can get bumper and then 5 plates.
Yeah.
And then I'm good. I'm at 585, and then whatever I'm throwing on is just small little volume chips and changes.
Right.
But then sometimes someone will take one of those plates. You got to put on I got to find matching deep dish, but then the deep dish make too much noise, and I feel bad. And it's just like,
and then you're putting them away, and you're trying to remember which leg press you took them off of across the gym.
It's just a nightmare. So I mean, I like matching plates, but I also enjoy the appeal of everything being a little bit different.
I like the clink too.
Yeah, I want the jingle jangle.
I want the jingle. I want the clink.
Makes me happy.
If it's clinking, I'm strong.
Exactly.
One plate don't clink.
I want the music. You know, I want the music of the plates. It just feels better.
I agree.
So
I agree. So now we got to buy a gym and have all matching.
Exactly, all matching deep dish plates.
Yeah. We'll buy the one-offs from the Rogue, the Arnolds or whatever.
Only the Arnold plates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones with Arnold.
The ones with Arnold
on
them specifically. We'll go back
what are
every
they,
year.
$28 a pound.
A lot. I think it's worth it to get one set.
Yeah.
Well,
we're gonna be rich because we're winning the lottery.
You mount those on the wall.
100%.
Right. You mount those on the wall. You don't.
We actually got a plate to mount on the wall from OSG.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty cool.
The guy we went to he supplied the plates, those gold plates on the
those were
log and stuff. Yeah, they're all machine steel plates. Huh. And he must have supplied them for the show, and then he was selling them there. He had a table. So we were out trying to. If I could give you guys a word to the wise, if you're going to a show, if you're going to the Arnolds, you're going to any show and you want to buy a t-shirt, don't wait till the last day. There will be no larges and no extra larges. They'll have 8XLs for him and extra small for a child of some sort. We made that mistake twice now. We're like, hey, we'll come back and get them later. No, you end up buying what they have, and it's not quite what you wanted. But yeah, long story short, that guy he was like, you guys want a plate? We're like, what do you mean? Like, no, I don't want to buy one plate. What am I going to do with one plate? And he's like, well, no, you can just have it. I'm like, what do you mean have it? Like, that looks expensive. Well, it's too much for me to ship back home, so you guys just want them, take them. I'm going to give them away to somebody. So we got them, and she put OSG on them there or whatever, and yeah, so that's going to go on the wall. That was on the logs that we lifted.
It's deceptively, I know it says 5 pounds, but it's like, yeah, it's got.
That's what else I mean. Like that log that I lifted at OSG was way heavier than it looked, and I want it to look heavy. Like I missed, but
but it didn't look super.
It didn't look heavy. I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, that thing looks like nothing. I should have lifted that like nothing.
Wow,
it was still 280 pounds, but
yeah,
I'll get it.
It's okay. You'll get it.
I'll get it.
300 Arnold. It's happening.
I definitely want to.
It'll be nice.
So it keeps me up at night sometimes. That's
Confirmed.
300.
Confirmed by the wife.
The tears. Crying on the end of the bed. I just want to lift weights.
Just pillows just in the dryer.
There's been no tears this prep.
Really?
I'm actually impressed.
Wow.
One argument with my coach.
We'll find out if that's good or not, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe the tears are important.
Maybe. They're your secret power.
Well, I don't know. I'll get
Emotional
back to
vulnerability.
We'll check in again after the show.
Check in after and see how many tears occur.
See. Yeah.
But
I don't know who I was laughing with. It was at the Alec. Were you there when I was... we were talking... Well, he was talking about the hypertrophy phase and going light with a NES. And I asked the question, I'm like, do your athletes ever give you kickback? Like,
yeah, I was there.
Because I know I'm the athlete giving kickback. Because it sucks. Lifting lightweight sucks. So, yeah, there was one time in the last prep there where Devin took all my weights away.
I remember that well.
I had a complete meltdown. Okay. I had a complete meltdown, and I'm like actively crying while I'm lifting a log. He hates me. He doesn't think I'm strong enough.
Well, I remember because like I'm consoling you, but I'm turning around and messaging Devin just like, he's
melting
down. Devin's just like, is he crying again? It's like, yeah, he's crying again.
I take it seriously.
It worked okay.
Yeah,
it worked out okay.
I'm not ashamed.
15th
I'm not
in the world.
ashamed of it. Yeah,
15th in the world, pretty good.
I'm not ashamed of it.
Maybe without the tears, you'd be higher. I don't know. We'll find
try.
out. I guess
We're definitely gonna try.
See what happens.
We got carry on while I.
Will you carry on while you search your phone here?
Yeah. We're gonna have a segment on the show though.
A segment?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was it's gonna be entertaining.
Okay.
It's gonna be really good.
Okay. Well, do we have a title for the segment?
We will. We'll talk about it. But what do cows like to read? Catalogs.
I was gonna say the moose paper.
It's gonna be a dad joke. We're gonna have a bad dad joke.
Gord's gaffs.
We're gonna. It's gotta have. It's a segment. It's
Okay,
be
it's a segment.
When are we gonna put it in? Where are we at? About half an hour?
Yeah, about half an hour.
Okay.
About
We'll
half
stick
an
it in
hour in.
somewhere.
We'll stick it in somewhere. Okay.
Ooh, we shouldn't say that.
Now you got to do it every week.
Every week?
That's not my segment. That's
down.
your segment.
I'm down.
Yeah, you're the dad.
That's true.
That's
I'm
your
good at dad
segment.
jokes.
I'm painfully
Should I
aware.
hit you with another one?
Please don't.
What did the frog say standing in shallow water? Knee deep, knee deep. I'm here all day, folks.
And
Buddy,
now
that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, as long
it
as
gets
we-
so much worse.
As long as we have plenty more content for all the future years. Let us know if you like Gord's gaffs or not.
Yeah, I'm taking monetary donations.
Super chats for more gaffs.
Yeah, I can be hired for kids' birthdays, adult birthdays, for crying out loud.
I don't know if I want you at an adult birthday, given what happened at yours.
What happened to mine? Oh,
Darn
I
near
almost died.
burned your hair off.
Yeah, that was a bad time. We're not going to talk about that.
That was pretty great.
Giant fires and gasoline and me.
It was pretty
Almost met my
awesome.
maker.
I think we still have the video saved somewhere. That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
we're going to keep that between us because
That's pretty cool.
somebody will take away my
was pretty
ability to
great.
play with fire ever.
Yes. Yeah.
The angle Brian had was amazing.
It was that Brian. Had a
Like,
really
I
good
disappeared in the
one. Oh, it
flames.
was amazing. That was fantastic. Like that should honestly that should be your walkout. Like,
I think
just that
so.
video, just you walking through the
Some kind of
flames.
song.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
AC/DC or something badass. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could
Hell's
start
Bells
the
or something.
video. We could plug that in on the,
We'll
at
put
the
it
beginning
in.
of the
That'll be
pod
the video.
with a song.
Yeah. Tyler's got a montage.
Well, how
at
big was the-
CSM.
how big
We'll
was the
just
pile
have
of-
stupid things?
How big was the pile of...
It's taller than me.
it was had to have been 15 feet. That wasn't even a really big one, but 15, 20 feet.
It was decently large.
It was tall.
Yeah,
And
12,
then there was a
15.
liter of gas that I thought was stale. Was not stale.
No, it's very
No,
volatile.
very, very volatile.
I think that's going to be the new intro. That'll be the intro. We'll edit something together. Probably not this week, but like next week, maybe I'll work on editing something together.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
You're in for a treat, folks.
Tyler's got him looking cool at CSM. We'll just have stupid
almost dying.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Me almost dying.
It'd be great. It'd be perfect. I love it.
I had to laugh today because I was Tyler's story or whatever came up and it showed him with that Husafel bag at that bar.
Well, he sold that story before because we were talking about it when I was on his show doing the recap for Nationals, and I didn't realize he got stapled by it because like
Yeah. How big was that bag? Is it 400 pounder?
I think
or
it was
350?
350 something. I
Right.
can't remember exactly.
Yep.
Like that's one of the things where I didn't realize how badly he got stapled. I was like, he's making. He wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I saw the picture. I'm like, oh, that's bad. And because I remember he was telling me about it, where he's like, JF had asked him, like, oh, do you want it to be higher? And he's like, no, that's perfect. I love that. And he got there. He's like, why did I say that?
Well, it was funny because I was in the middle of building that apparatus for my yoke.
Yeah.
Like I was, for whatever reason, I sent a picture to a few people and nobody really knew what I was talking about or whatever. And then I see it. I'm like, of all things to see on the
On the day
internet
that
today,
you
is something I'm in
bring
the
the
middle of
giant
making.
metal
Yeah, I'm making a
pipe.
12-foot bar for my
Love it.
for my yoke so I can do my own bag run. And because my yoke's just too tight. I throw that big Husafel
It
in
is.
there. That thing's,
It's
what is it,
really
like
tight.
30-some inches across?
Something like
it's
that.
huge.
It's
and then
stupid.
I'm hitting everything and it's just unsafe. So
No, I totally agree. Even when we were doing stones, it was a little
and
sketchy.
kegs and stuff, if you're trying to receive the keg and your hands get close, somebody's going to lose a
Yeah.
finger.
Well,
in there,
if
so.
you want to try to run, and you have the space for it, so if you can do a full run, do a full run.
Yeah.
Might as well.
We're
So,
makeshifting with runs right now, but
yeah, but it'd be nice to have the option to like,
yeah.
actually go.
And then we could
do-
take it outside and whatever.
Yeah.
If we want
Do
to
a
use it
full
for shows
proper
or whatever,
run.
we can use it. I
Yeah,
don't care.
that's true too.
Yeah. But
So that'd be good.
It'll be fun.
Oh yeah, it'd be really good.
Man, we're all over the
Oh,
place. eh?
Alec. Back
Yeah,
to the summer.
back
Yeah.
to Alec. That was a tangent. and a
Yes.
half.
we
Get
go-
used to it, folks.
I've had a couple people say that they like it.
Really?
Yeah, they like our tangents.
Okay.
So we're going to keep it going.
Luckily, it's not stopping.
No, it's not stopping. This is very natural for us. But one of the things with we were saying is like when I peaking.
Right.
And I found a lot of people like to go really heavy, really early on.
Yeah.
And it seems to work for people. But even like Thor, his last heavy deadlift, I think he said is something like 18 days out or something. 20
Right.
days out. So it's like, okay, so I'm on the right track of hitting like their last heavy singles.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little different for everyone depending on how they tolerate things. But I do
Yeah.
think more people maybe err on lifting too heavy too close than
Right.
lifting. And I just say that given that I lift a lot lighter than most people I know, and I tend to peak a lot better than most people I know.
Right. I find for myself, if I'm off too long, like 2 weeks is too long for a deload for me. It's
Yeah.
all even after a week of a deload week, my first session back is rough. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with doing my last heavy single. My last heavy press can be closer. My last heavy deadlift and
Yes.
yoke has to be a minimum of like 8 to 10 days out.
So for me,
Because
I
then
find
those, as long as I have confidence, as long as I'm close to, and this is where I'm having a hard time right now, is my confidence isn't there. I'm so far past the 560 trap bar deadlift that I'm almost at a point where I'm like, well, I have to get the 700 at this point, or like, what do I do? Because now I've trained so far past on lower number of reps. The 560, what am I going to pump that for 10 or 15 reps?
a lot of reps.
And then what's the
You
point,
take
right?
that for a ride.
But if I can get that 700,
You're getting the 700.
I'm getting the 700.
There's no real. What'd you pull? 650 for
650 for 3. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
And I feel like my foot was
how many? How many in the tank?
There was for sure 2 in the tank.
Then you're fine.
Yeah. But it was funny because we were laughing. I loaded my last plates, and I wear these triple ply knee sleeves. Have you tried triple ply knee sleeves?
I have not.
They are like strangulation sleeves. So they're tight, and then all of a sudden my left foot starts falling asleep, and I'm like, I'm used to that. So I usually sit with my legs straight,
Yeah.
and I try just to keep the circulation going. But then all of a sudden it went past constriction. It went past no blood flow, and I lost feeling in my foot. Completely lost feeling. I'm like, when I deadlift, I like to feel the floor. I
Yeah.
could not feel the floor. It felt like I was standing on a little pogo stick. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now, but I got to pull it. I told her, I'm like, I got to go now because I have to get this knee sleeve off. So it was like,
my
just
goodness.
get it, go. And then after, I'm like, frick, I should have put a few more pounds on. No, I have to get this knee
you
sleeve off.
gotta
And I
get it
started
off.
freaking out to get this damn thing off me. Pull it off.
Oh my goodness.
It was a bit of a scene. Shit gets a little crazy
The tight
sometimes.
ones don't bug me too much. I've never had something so tight that I've lost circulation.
That's
I
the
don't
first,
like the elbow sleeves are not. I had the triple ply elbow sleeves for
Yeah.
a while that Tyler Vidal there had let me borrow.
Right.
They were okay.
Yeah.
I didn't,
Were like freaking out like you had to get them off, or
not really.
no? These were just that tight. I don't know
To
what
be
it
fair,
is.
like I also think it's just from the jiu-jitsu where it's like I'm used to being literally smothered and strangled. So it's like a little bit of
You're into
discomfort. It's
it.
like, yeah, it's like it's whatever. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. My hand's
like- I
purple.
kinda like it.
I'm good. Yeah, it's okay. It's a little badge of honor. Whatever. Yeah, I'm happy. So
Yeah.
it doesn't bother
It was
me.
a strange
I don't
feeling,
love them, but
Yeah.
it's not something where I'm like, I'm gonna go.
They've been a
and
game
buy them.
changer for me for everything. Like I borrowed a pair off Garrett. I actually didn't even borrow them. I think he made me borrow them. He's just that kind
That
of guy.
sounds about right.
He's like,
Yeah.
you need to try these. He's mailing them to me. I'm like,
Well, he mailed me his 350 sandbag or 300-pound sandbag.
yeah.
I'm like,
He's
okay.
a gem.
Yeah, just good
He's a
dude.
bit of a wiener face, but
Yeah,
we love you, Garrett.
just because of his baldness.
Just because of his baldness.
Yeah.
And he sucks at lifting, so I can tell him that. I told him that this morning.
You guys go.
He said something about
So,
what's wrong with my log. I said, what's wrong with your log is you suck.
If I'm being totally honest, and this is no hate to any of my weight class athletes and friends, I have no reference for what is good or not outside of open men. I don't know.
No,
I have no idea.
I'm really good.
Okay. Well, I got
That's all you need to know.
But it's like, no, I genuinely speaking, and this is why I like strongman.
Yeah.
Because like, if I see a guy walk up to a Trump bar at OSG
Yeah.
and rep it out, I'm like, okay, he's a good deadlifter for that weight class.
Yeah.
Because I have no frame of reference.
Right.
And it's not that I don't care and I don't think they're good athletes.
feels like you don't care.
But it's like, well, it doesn't affect me.
Well, what,
So I'm like,
what
I'll
you
just-
do
I
doesn't
just-
affect me, but
I
I
can
still
just- I
think,
can
but I
just-
still give you praise and
Yeah,
tell you
but-
great
and
job.
I tell you great job all the time.
You do, but now you've taken a lot off
I'm
of
just
it.
blind.
It really doesn't mean a
I just
lot
have
now.
blind faith in you. Yeah, you hit a number and I'm like, oh, Gord, you're so strong.
He's like,
Gold star.
gold star. That's why he gave me so many thumbs up. I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought he really liked
It actually
me.
makes it
Just
really easy.
wants me to go away.
It makes it really easy to be positive.
It does. You are.
It's like, you know, I can't
if
be
I'm
like,
sharing a goal with somebody, it's you because you're so positive.
yeah, I'm just like, hey, you get, it's like, hey, that's awesome. I
That's
love
my guy.
that. It's like, I don't know if that's good or not. Also, there's so many different implements that I'm like, I genuinely don't know what's good for a lot
Well,
of
you
them.
just have to remember we're little people.
Yeah, but even for open men, I'm like, there's so many implements where I'm like,
Is that good? That's true.
I don't know.
Well, because the 320 axle for Westerns, I'm like, I don't know, is that a good press or not?
So Tyler had a good point.
Like I
about
know what
that.
it is with log. Like I know what a good log is, but I
Yes.
don't know. I genuinely don't know what a good axle press is for. I know what a good axle press is for a 105 guy. Not even good, but let's say average or what I'm used to seeing because that's what I watch.
There needs to be almost like an average for the field. You know what I mean? Like they have something like, oh, like the field average is roughly this.
Right.
Like have people submit their competition lifts so you can like see, oh, like this is roughly where.
Yeah. Instead of just pulling a number out of.
Because like even watching a show, it's like I don't know. A lot of these guys, I don't know if it was PR for them. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, it comes back to point spread too, like Tyler said, and like we've talked about before.
Yes.
You want point spread. Yep. If you have 20 competitors and 16 of them are going to get the 320 and that's it, it's kind of a wasted event.
It was a little too. I think I agree with them where they're starting a touch heavy.
Yeah.
I think if you started at 300, a little more, and even the log last year at Westerns, a lot of guys zeroed it. Yep. I can't remember, it was 325. I can't remember how many guys took a zero. I think that log was fine because again it's a circuit show.
Yep.
It's pro-am. You have to be able to do that if you want to hang there. I get that totally.
And it is a log. That. A log is a pretty common implement.
A log's
that
a pretty
everybody
common
is
implement.
Proficient at. We'll say.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. But I mean, like,
and it is different with the axle, the clean and press. Like getting it up is more. I feel like the press is probably the easy part for most of you guys.
Yeah, if you can get it up there, most guys are going to be able to press it.
Because you press from rack. I'm a decent presser from rack. 250 for 5 from rack.
Something like that. Yeah.
I wouldn't say 300 would be out of my wheelhouse on a press from rack.
Well, exactly. But it's once you've cleaned it up there and it's
cleaning
that,
it is a
it's
totally
that rotation
different
underneath. Yeah. That's hard.
And trying to keep your balance because now you're throwing it. If you're not throwing it up, you're throwing it back. You're throwing it forward. See,
I got the belly, so I just rested on there.
I got abs.
Yes. We've all seen.
I don't have abs.
Yes.
No. An ab.
An ab, a singular keg.
That's right. It's a fuel tank.
But it'll be interesting. I'm curious to see. Listen, I like, and I was saying because like Colton and I were talking, and he was talking about how it's like, oh, like axle's not any more fun than log, and I'm like, but it's variety.
It is.
I've exclusively had log in my competitions, from Westerns last year to Nationals to Arnold.
You're tired of log.
I'm tired of log.
I'm not tired of it yet. I'm just getting on the cusp of getting to where I want to be with it. And once I'm where I want to be with it, okay, we're done.
See, I've kind of hit that wall.
Yeah.
That's where actually, like, again, tying it back to the Alec thing, is that he looked at me and he said, he's like, well, you're not weak, you're just unpracticed.
Right.
I'm like, that's encouraging to hear. Mm-hmm. So how do I practice? So he was very generous. He's like, yeah, I'll send you some drills you can use, like where I'd put them. I'm like, okay, that's great. But he was telling me that when he was working with Erin Murray, I guess her best push press was 200 for 5.
Okay.
Like Jocelyn was sitting there with me.
Right.
So it was about 200 for 5. A month later of drilling for 30 minutes every night, and she was split jerking 250 for 5.
Wow.
I'm like, that's substantial.
Yeah, that's huge.
So I'm like, if I can, so I set the goal for myself today.
Yep.
Right now, overhead is my least favorite.
Okay.
But this time next year, I want it to be my favorite.
Okay.
Not be amazing at it, but I don't want to be frustrated by it.
You want to enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to go into a session.
It is easier to get better at something when you're enjoying it. If you see it in your program and you don't like it, it's really hard to get good at.
Yeah, that's one of those. But right now, it's not. This is the programming. We're hitting the weights that I should be hitting, but right now, I just know I'm leaving so much on the table that's frustrating.
Right.
So I think that if I get a couple technical consults, do the drilling, really get under a bar and just move weight overhead.
Right.
We're getting those jerk blocks. I talked to Tom and Matt again today, and they confirmed it. Yep. So it's like I'll be spending a lot of time on those jerk blocks, just drilling. And I think that'll be very, very helpful because as soon as then you get good at something or proficient at something, that's where, okay, now I can start making progress on this and really enjoying it.
Right. Are they having them made or they're buying?
They're getting the Irwin Fitness ones, the steel ones.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. Those are pricey.
They are.
Yep.
But generous gym.
Very generous gym. One of the best gyms around. Shameless plug for Iron Image.
Yeah. In my opinion, they're the best gym in Manitoba, just from a pure equipment standpoint.
Yep.
Like they've got something for everybody. It's like a small town health club at this point.
Mm-hmm. It's very welcoming.
I'm very biased, but yeah, Tom and Matt put a lot of work into that place.
They've been great to us.
Really like
no, I can't. More than great to us, I'd say. It
started
out as a conversation about how can what can we do to come work out? Not full membership, but not, and it was counteracted with, can we sponsor you?
Yes.
I'm like, whoa.
And I would argue they're not. You won't even let them be as good to you as they want to be.
I have a hard time accepting.
I know you do,
but we won't go there. That's right. I am very thankful, and I really appreciate the human beings that they are. Because I've known Matt since I grew up with Matt. Like we we were buddies when we were young. So Tom, I didn't know so much. He's a little younger than me, but me and Matt, we have that old man bond.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, Matt's great.
Yeah. Well, he's still killing it. He's doing, what is he doing?
He's
An
doing
hour of cardio a day or
the
something?
Van Dyke.
Yeah.
So he signed up for that bodybuilding show there, so he's gonna make a comeback. I think he knows Tyler as well from
Wrestling
days, right? So he's really tied into a lot of things that I didn't realize he was so tied into.
Yep.
But they're both coming to the Arnold, so that'll be a blast.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm excited for that.
Tom was saying they spent a lot of money on different tickets and stuff because he's like, I'm seeing everything.
Oh, okay.
So I think we're all going to go out to Rogue HQ on the Monday there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're flying out late.
Yeah, we're going, I think.
Yeah. Might as well see what we can find.
Yep. I know what I'm going to find.
Arnold plates.
No.
No.
Wagon wheels.
For some reason, I just always think you have them.
No, I don't.
I don't know why, but every time I'm here, I'm like, Gord's got wagon wheels, and I look back.
I just love those Rogue ones.
No,
I don't know. That's what I want.
They're nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting my own made, like just getting them plasma and I can wrap
It
them.
would cost you so much, though.
Yeah, I think it could probably cost me around the same, but it'd be a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I don't know, lately I'm just tired of
Well, you've also built a lot of stuff. I mean, also, too, we have to make more stones.
We got to make more stones.
So I
want to get those styrofoam blocks put in.
Yeah. Well,
I have to do those.
I have to do the math, too, and get that lead.
Yeah.
I have to figure out exactly how much we need.
We're going to make some stupid stones.
Yeah.
We're going to make some heavy 20-inchers, too. 20? What's my mold?
22.
Well, you're gonna make some. I don't need that because
because that's what the ones in Westerns are.
Yeah.
So it's 400.
What's my 300 mold? 19.
Yeah,
I think so.
19 or 20.
Yeah,
because the 21 inch was
lead inserted. I'd like to have 2 lead inserted 19-inch stones, so upwards of 350, 365 maybe. Be a nice size stone for me and whatever.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's a good size stone in general.
Yep.
300.
I'm comfortable with a 300-pound stone, but I've never really. The next jump is 365, and I don't know if I've even ever tried it, to be honest.
Well, what would if you had made the finals at OSG? What did that stone run cap out
at? 325, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
But if you can load 350 in training, you could probably finish a run with 325.
Yeah, I think those were all 20-inch stones.
Yeah. Well, so OSG is all 21-inch.
Is it 21?
I think 21. At least
for the open guys. Yeah.
Because I know it's similar. Sorry. Strongest man on earth shot classic is 21-inch.
Right.
I think the OSG ones are 21-inch as well.
I feel like they're a very similar diameter, start to finish,
very
just
similar.
Heavy.
That's the thing. Yeah, they're all core.
They might have been a bit bigger. I didn't look into it because I kind of knew I wasn't making top 10. So
okay, that's fair.
I didn't worry about the day 2 events too much there. I was worried about day 1 was stressful enough.
Yeah,
or
that's fair.
Day 1 and 2 was stressful enough. Day 3 would have been.
Oh, this one's just a 1 day. Yeah, at the Arnold.
Yeah.
For you, that'll make life
for me
easier.
is 1 day. Yeah.
I gotta worry a little bit about if I'm gonna make the finals or not. But again, I don't care.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it, but worry about your first day.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
until you're proficient.
Jeffers is telling me, he's like, oh, every year a Western guy has been there and he makes it to the finals. I'm like, I don't care.
Oh, he's putting pressure on you.
I said,
I'm like, Jeffers.
I am completely comfortable in my incompetence. I'm a rookie. I'm okay with that.
You can ride that for a couple of years, I think.
I got a couple of years of it. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Also, I don't care. Yeah. I am comfortable in what I don't know.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, we're coming up on 55 minutes, so we will wrap up shortly. But Thrones corrected me.
Okay.
So the way they're doing the wagon wheel deadlift at Tolstoy, it's the ascending wagon wheel. Mm-hmm. It's not a rising bar. It's you strap onto the bar, rep, add weight, rep, add weight, rep, add weight. So it's like what they had at Magnus in Iceland there, the proper show.
Yep.
So it's probably not, I'll say it took a while, but I don't think it'll take as much time because people will sputter out faster versus everyone's skipping and not knowing what they're doing and all that stuff. So that'll be an interesting show.
Yeah.
That'll be, I feel bad for the volunteers.
We did that at MSM one year. Was
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the same event. Yeah. Elevated
that
bar.
That was your Devon one,
Yeah, exactly. So just adding weight to it. So
that's good. I like a pull from 15-inch. That's a nice pull for me. I don't know if I'm going to do, I don't know. Well, there's so much to talk about still. Should we go a little longer?
Sure.
Okay. Sorry, girls.
We're not sorry.
I'm okay with an hour and a half, I think, is a max.
I'm okay.
Between an hour and an hour and a half. I chatted with a few people.
To be fair, I have listened to Jocko podcasts that are 5.5 hours long. Yeah. I'm like, if the conversation's flowing, man, just
do it. Yeah.
Well,
we're still not done talking about Alec.
But I remember there was one that he had that was like 3.5 hours long with some Holocaust survivor, and I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like you don't want it to end.
No, I don't even want to go to work.
You don't
I
want
pull into
you
work.
don't
I'm like,
want
should I call in
exactly.
sick?
Yeah.
Just drive
It's like,
around.
just
and
drive
listen?
around, listen. Yeah. You don't want our podcast to end. We'll see how many people actually listen all the way through.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying.
And if you don't, screw you.
Exactly.
Just kidding.
We're far enough in, we can say that. People have already dropped off.
But no, the Alec, I was getting excited when we were talking about his strength continuum because I feel like training in that way, I was bad for training like too linear all the time. And it was like a break it down, 5s, 3s, 2s, 1s, 5s, 3s, 2s, 1s. And I found myself perpetually hurt.
Yes, you were injured all the time.
All the time, like it's nonstop. Yes. And as I'm listening to him talk, and he's talking about how a lot of his athletes never get injured. Most of his athletes, like they get injured, but not like detrimental injuries like I have had. I've blown my knee. I've torn my pec. I've hamstrings. Like how many? 2, 3, 4 hamstrings? I don't know, but not ever like those weren't bad tears, but those were just enough to take you out.
Well, you're running out of fingers to count them.
I know it's bad, but seeing the way he trained and Devin adding in the Norwegian protocols and stuff like that has built my baseline for strength up so much. It's boring as shit.
Yes.
But it has made me almost, I don't want to use the word bulletproof because then you know what's going to happen right away, but yeah, knock on wood. But it's made me a more resilient lifter. My general physical health is a lot better. Like we used to try to go for walks. I couldn't make it to the end of the driveway because my back was jacked up all the time.
Yeah.
But that's from hammering heavy weights, and never ever taking a break from it. And then, yeah, with Devin, the way he's structured, I was getting excited because I'm like, hey, I know this stuff works because I live it. You know what I mean? I'm a product of that.
Well, that's something for me where it was like, it's reinforcing where it's like, okay, I know. I mean, I've always known we're doing the right thing, but I know Guy and I are on doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And even what you're saying where it's like, I love the idea of focusing on baseline strength.
Yeah.
And it's like, on my worst day, I can walk in and hit this.
Yeah.
And
I feel like too many people think about their strength and they think about the top. They're always thinking about their top numbers. And I feel like your top numbers, when you're chasing those top numbers over and over and over again, they stay. They don't move.
Yeah.
You can fluctuate a little bit there, you can get a little bit, but when you focus on the bottom number and you push your whole strength curve up proportionally from the bottom up, you build a bigger pyramid. So now your base, if your base bench was 250 for 10, and you can push that 250 for 10 up to 275, 280, 300 for 10, then your top end numbers have no choice but to go up.
No, absolutely.
And your general body is healthier, your strength is there, that's how you're getting better.
Well, I think that's the thing is like there's different ways to see progress. I think the benefit of the periodization like that is that you can only hit so many heavy triples, doubles, or I mean, neither of us really like it. And I mean, I think RPE can be useful. I have a hard time regulating it because some of my best, fastest days have been the worst I've felt ever.
Right.
It's like I feel awful, but the bar speed's super quick. So, I mean, I will do things where I'll look back at it because to me, I'm like, I know I can feel like trash and still perform really well. So to me, it's performance based. And it's kind of like where Thrones with his velocimeter there.
Yeah.
That's one thing. So for me, it's like, I see a lot of people where they're like, oh, here's a triple at RPE 7 and it's the exact same or less than they hit a month ago. And it's like, well, yeah, of course you're frustrated. Whereas if you were to just, run through that whole block, you're like, I actually really liked the time progression. And I brought it up to Guy maybe against my own will, that it was going to end up with me or something. But I like that idea of, coming off a show, coming back, starting things heavier, and hitting PRs in a different way. Mm-hmm. I think it's really
like
helpful.
Volume PRs more.
Yeah, you're hitting volume PRs.
Yeah.
I mean, and
that's
honestly,
what I found has been big for me. My 7s and 8s, hitting volume PRs in the 7s and 8s,
well,
and not only that,
even your sets and reps.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right?
Your
so
sets
for me,
too.
5x3. I misloaded it there on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve or whatever. Hit 650. I'm like, that's a volume PR.
Yeah,
that's huge. I've never done that.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, well now my baseline is I can do that on my worst day.
Yeah.
Just walking to the
and then
gym.
you can play with your baseline too on sets because now so I get 5 sets of 8 reps. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't typically do all 5 sets at 8 reps at the same weight, so I would build up from that. But then the next block, okay, I'm trying to get 2 or 3 sets at my top weight. And then now it's come to, can you get all 5 sets, all 6 sets at that same weight? So then I'm pushing up my baseline that way too. So then you're adding up the volume as a total amount of weight lifted for that day. So it doesn't matter how you look at it. I'm better that day than I was that same place in the last training block, because my total volume of work has gone up. I feel better. And then from there, we can keep pushing it up, pushing it up, pushing it up.
So I think this is where you and I differ a little bit, is that, because I know you will hit like a top set kind of thing.
Yeah.
You'll work sets up and you'll work heavy, and you just kind of ramp up a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe you end up at, let's say you're doing triples, you'll end up at 85% or 90%, right? Well, I'll just do all 5 triples at 85%.
Right. That's my goal. But my body hasn't been able to handle that type of load.
Yeah.
Being an older athlete,
but
probably.
That's typically where, and we have a pretty basic start where it's like you start at, 75, 80% for 5x2, and you go 2.5% increase, or depending how much time you have, you'll increase it. But you'll go like that day 1 weight for 2x3, and then 3x2 at day 1 of week 2's weight. You kind of slowly creep it up.
Yeah.
And then eventually you're hitting, 705 for 2, which is like the massive lifetime PR for squatting.
Yeah.
And that seems to work better for me, just kind of that staggered, slow progression.
Right.
But I also push my secondary really hard that whole way through.
Right.
And when we get to the really heavy competition work, that gets dropped off.
Right.
So most of my volume comes from my secondary. Mm-hmm. A little bit different, but I said it's, for me,
and if it works for you, what works for us doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
That's the thing about training is you have to figure out what works for you.
You need to hit numbers.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I pay a coach. He's doing it. Like, we collaborate because I'm learning the technical stuff that he maybe doesn't understand because he's just not a strongman.
Right.
But he understands how I respond to things.
Yeah.
So I just give him, hey, here's some drills I found. Here's how I'm warming up for things. Here I'm adjusting this or tweaking this.
Right.
And we're learning. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I trust him. If he thinks that this will get me to hit that number, then I don't care.
Yeah. For me, my time constraint is much worse than yours. You're 28.
Also, yes.
Yeah. And I'm 44. So I don't have 5, 6, 8 years to get better and better and better. I obviously want to, but realistically, I just don't have that many years to get there. And I have numbers that I want to hit before it all starts to drop off. And I mean, it's going to drop off one day. And I kind of felt like,
it's already started.
Asshole. But no, in all seriousness, I don't want to use my days are numbered, but my highly competitive days, I've only have so many of them, and I want to get better, and that's all I think about nonstop is just how do I get a little bit better? How do I get a little bit better? And I have to do it in a constructive way that doesn't break me and put me down, because I can't be out for 6 months.
No, and you're very careful with that. We were training stones before nationals last year, and you felt something in your bicep, you just immediately stopped.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that was nothing.
Yeah.
But it's like, that was the right decision to make.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that's the thing is you train very hard, but you also know when not to push it.
Yeah. But that was also me getting stupid too, jumping in with you guys. I
thought you warmed up pretty decently.
I don't think I did. I
thought it was
I just jumped
thing.
in.
Did you?
Yeah. I grabbed you guys were all going and I was doing something else, or was I hurt? And I just kind of jumped in at the 250 stone. I started grabbing that, and then I
felt something go.
Yeah. And it was like what? Why did I just got the fever. Everybody was here. Clint was here.
Everyone
were here.
was here. Yeah.
Michelle and Adam were here. We had 6, 8, 10 people going. Shelby was smashing rocks all over the place.
It's true.
And I'm like, I want to smash rocks. And I smashed rocks and almost tore my bicep.
Almost, but didn't.
Almost, but didn't. Yeah.
Almost, but didn't. So you're good.
I have that switch that kind of is like, nope, put it down.
Yeah, you know me. I think that's as soon as you feel something in your elbow, it's just like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's even like with benching. I've done that a couple times where I'll be up and I feel something in my elbow or something like that. And it's just like, no, bail it. Like, just bail it over your face. I don't care.
Yeah.
You get a couple weird looks from people in the gym, but it's like, nope, trust me, that was the better option there. Like, whatever.
Well, I posted that one bench video. I was missing bench there one day, and I loaded 330 for 5.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was feeling good. I was pumping. The first 3 went, and I hit the third one. I'm like, jeez, put it away, because I know if I come down again, I'm going to be missing another pack.
Well, the thing, it's like, I think a lot of people, you can't tell me that any number is so worth getting hurt.
No, it's not.
Like,
I have
if
2
you're in a
inches of my
competition,
pec missing because of 350. Yeah, 2x2.
Oh,
Completely.
I didn't know
tore right off my chest. Yeah.
Oh.
she was spotting me there, and I hit that. It was 315 by 5 on my 5th rep. I pull it up and went, oh, and it came down. And just what happened? I'm like, tore my pec. What do I do? I'm like, well, no panic. Don't panic. It's already torn. It's not going to get any more torn.
It's already off the bone.
Just start peeling weights off. So she's freaking out there, peeling weights off. I'm like, just relax. We're fine.
You tore the pec, but you're doing a pep talk.
Yeah. What do we do now? Well, we go in the house because I got no pec. So
yeah, I'll have to get that reattached.
Yeah. So that was a full year recovery, but my pec's stronger than ever. So I've benched more than I've ever benched before. Yeah.
But it goes to show you.
There's no injury that will take you out. I mean, there probably is, but
probably some.
Marcus it ain't
Crowder.
A pec, okay?
Marcus Crowder.
Marcus Crowder?
Hitched the deadlift, blew both patellar tendons, broke his bones.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he took him out, but
I can't handle those videos. People send me those videos. Do not send me videos of people breaking legs.
For some reason, Shelby watched it like 4 times.
Why? Don't show people. Terrible choice.
Yeah.
Well, puke.
But I've talked to him since, actually, just in the DMs and stuff, and he seems like he's doing well. Like he's fully comfortable moving on from strongman and like losing weight and stuff. So like, good for him. He hit his goal, competed at Worlds. He's content.
Yep.
But yeah, that injury takes people out.
Yeah. No thanks.
But no, I agree. It's like I think that with that kind of periodization, like you are less injury prone because you just can't be hammering those heavy weights all the time.
Yep.
And I mean, you look at the West Side guys, they were always broken and holding themselves together with gear. You look at a lot of the modern IPF lifters who are constantly hitting RPE 8, 9 singles. A lot of them are hurt or they're just not getting because any stronger.
And it was sad to not see more coaches at the seminar. And I don't really like that type of thinking sometimes, but I'm like, man, so many people missed out on a really good seminar.
Well, I think that a lot of people just... they fall into their niche. Like I have a system, you know, like I've learned Guy's system, and then there's some things that I do that I've kind of made it my own.
Right.
But it's more regarding like the athlete feedback thing. Like Guy's got enough clients where if you don't want to use a system, he's just not going to coach you.
Yeah.
It works for me, so I stick there.
Yeah.
But I mean, he knows all the different methodologies. I think I've told the story before where, you know, he was... when I was in school and working 60 hours plus a week, he just kind of switched me over to a conjugate method because he's like, and I asked him about it after. I was like, why do we do that? He goes, well, because you were being an idiot and working all the time and still wanting to lift heavy. So I changed your variation every 3 weeks. So you literally couldn't hurt yourself.
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Nice.
So it's like, but I didn't think about it because he knew that if he told me we were backing off, I'd implode.
Right.
But if I thought we were still lifting heavy because I was on different variations every week.
Right.
It worked, right? That's different people. But I think that, I agree. Like, I think you have to be versatile and be able to adapt to different athletes.
Yep.
Like, you know, there's an overarching kind of idea of what everyone's program will look like.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at, if you watch a Lucas Haddon video, you notice that, like, that big Sturge guy, their programming's pretty similar.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's tweaks, right, to address different weaknesses.
That's a good coach, is there's different tweaks. Because I honestly, for a good portion of my lifting career, didn't want to coach again because I had a couple of experiences with coaches where you get the printout, here's some numbers. I looked at this page and I went, what is this? Like, I can't, I looked at week 2 was 3 repping my 1 rep max. And I'm like, I don't,
the old Mad Dog 5x5.
What is this? Like, and then really not a lot of help and just, I paid a couple $100 for a sheet of paper that was no good to me. And then from then on, I swore I would never pay another coach. And then I don't know, for whatever reason.
But to be fair, you didn't pay a coach, you paid a con man.
I paid a con.
Right, like for lack of a better word, right? Like,
and then I was chatting with other people about their programs, and they seem so cookie cutter, you know, muscle and fitness. I'm like, why? What is the value of a coach then? I didn't know a value.
When was that?
When was
the first time you had a coach?
Oh, probably 8 years ago.
Still, there weren't many people who actually knew what they were doing.
No, 100%, yeah.
But you basically had Guy.
Yeah. Probably.
Maybe like Brock and Sue.
Yeah. And then everybody else was just your standard, did the CanFit Pro and our Pump and O programs.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's the thing where it's like, even me now, a decade in, like it took me a decade to feel good enough where I'm like, I can coach people.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a level of humility that comes with, I consider myself a good coach. Shelby might disagree because she's not happy with me. But, you know, like, I consider myself to be a good coach, and I see it in the results that people get.
Yeah.
But I also am very aware that I know nothing.
Right.
And that there's things to be learned.
Right.
So it's when you have a chance to to learn from someone of that level of expertise,
Right.
you take it.
If you're getting well, that's what Devin does. Is he hires good coaches to learn their styles.
Yes.
And that I didn't even know that when I asked him to coach me. He just seemed like he knew. Him and I chatted a little bit. And he just seemed like me. Like we were very similar in our thought processes. And I didn't know him very well. And we ended up after Vita 2022, I think. We went for, we do a little barbecue thing after Vita. I don't know if you've ever been there for that, but we bring barbecues and we go sit in the field there and we drink beers and we cook hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff like that. And I said, whatever, come over and sit with us or whatever. Not really knowing the guy very well. We sat and we chatted and I was just sitting there. I'm like, you want to coach me?
So you guys have only really known each other for 3 years?
Yeah.
2.5 years?
3.5 years, yeah.
I honestly thought you guys had known each other for like a decade.
It's just that's how we are. Is we just kind of clicked, and it's just it just works. Like we're very similar
for sure.
in a lot of things, and it's just So not only is he my coach now, he's probably one of my best friends too. So
for sure.
It's it works. So yeah, he can give me shit when I need shit. So
yeah, that's the thing. You guys have that.
He call me on my bullshit.
he has no problem doing that.
Yeah,
but you need that sometimes.
Yeah. And all I wanted was just to not suck. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I said, can you just help me like be competitive at provincials? And I feel like we've gone a little bit past that.
Well, that's a genuinely a good goal.
Yeah. It was actually, I think my words were, I want to keep up with Ryan Deloli. There you go, Ryan, you know. I still haven't.
It's all out there.
I'm banging on his heels.
Yeah, it's all out there now.
Yeah.
It's all out there. But I think
that
that's
was
reasonable. Like that's a good, and also just too for anyone coming in, like if you're gonna hire a coach, have a goal in mind.
Yeah.
And so Shelby, I'm gonna air this out. I'm sorry.
Getting called out.
Shelby's saying, oh, like I'd like to get to nationals this year.
Yep.
Like, okay, it's not unreasonable. Mm-hmm. But I said to her also, I'm like, you're gonna have to put in the work.
How good are you willing to get?
That's what exactly. How good are you willing to get? Like,
we have that on the board, I think. Is it still on the board? Yeah. How good are you willing to get? Yeah.
But it's like hey, we can do it.
Yeah.
But like, are you going to put the work in?
Yeah.
So whenever I send to the program, she's like, "This is horrible. You're trying to kill me," and I'm just kind of like, "Well, what do you think, right?"
Yeah. And then she goes and does it.
And she goes and does it anyways.
Right.
And then she's like, "Oh, that felt light. I want to add more weight." I'm like, "Sure, whatever." So it's
newbie gains are my favorite.
Oh, it's hilarious. Like she put 40 pounds on her squats in a month.
You
it's like whatever. But it's like you catch up, and like I said, like one of my clients, Tyler, phenomenal. Where he's in the Yukon. He bought equipment. He stopped off, and I felt bad because
that was the cop guy.
Yeah,
yeah, okay,
yeah. But I felt bad.
I can see his face. But
I felt bad because Jeffers was here for that grip comp and had this log that he was like $50. I just want it gone.
Come on.
Didn't even occur to me to grab it because I was like,
you always buy.
Didn't occur to me, right? Because it's bent and stuff needs to be fixed. I'm like, it didn't occur to me. Well, and Tyler's saying, I'm trying to find a log. I'm like, oh. So I text Jeffers. I'm like, you still got that log? He's like, yeah, it's $50. I'm like, okay, I got a guy driving through Moose Jaw. He's going to pick it up. Warning, he likes to talk. And,
he does like to talk.
He does. So they talked a little bit. And
he's
whatever.
a nice guy like that.
But yeah, but he has a log now.
Right.
But so he bought equipment, like planned his road trip so he could like pick things up at Strong Arm in Calgary and stuff.
Yeah.
And he has equipment. And like that's an example where I'm like, he will go as far as he wants to because even working shift work as a police officer, right? Like so he's got a very high stress, very busy job. He's just moved his family across the country. He's gonna be flying in for Tolstoy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he decided he's doing that. I'm like, that's great. It'd be good to see him and all that stuff. He will do as much as he wants to do.
Yep.
And he's a very strong guy. He's a very athletic guy.
Yep.
And it's like, how good do you want to get?
Right.
But he gives me like the RIR of his bicep curls.
I
get paragraphs of feedback.
Okay, let's tighten it up a bit.
But then I have other clients, Ryder, who don't send me anything. And it's like, honestly, if Ryder didn't go to my gym, I wouldn't know how his workouts went.
Right, if you didn't see him.
Ryder. Yeah, genuinely. I'm like,
Ryder, you better be listening.
Yeah,
You're in trouble.
Send me videos. And his mom's great for it. She's like, take videos. Oh my goodness. He just sends me like trains and Warhammer. And but then it's like, but I'm like,
you said videos.
Yeah, but I'm like, can I see your squat, please? And he's like, it went well. I'm like, what do you mean well? So I
405.
deload him this week, and he's like, "Oh, why are you deloading me?" I'm like, "Because you're squatting sets of 4, 20 pounds under your max. Like, I don't even know with you, kid. Like, we're deloading you, and this is what's gonna happen now."
Yeah.
He's a good kid, but like I said, I'm just like,
I
give me
love
some,
Ryder.
give me some feedback. And I always just forget that he doesn't know anything.
I just love the hat.
I know. But so
He's just sitting there living his life, chatting with people, happy.
Does not care. Not making eye contact with women.
No, terrified of women.
It's hilarious.
Especially Shelby, she bites.
I know. But no, it's hilarious. Because he says, he's like, I need advice on talking to girls. And she's like, you talk to me. He's like, have you ever noticed I don't make eye contact with you? She's like,
I did notice.
I notice it now. But
Ryder, we love you.
He's a good kid. Yeah, we'll throw an 18th birthday bash for him.
Yeah.
May the 4th. Great birthday.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th. You got to say it with a lisp.
Lisp. Yeah. C-bum. What is up, YouTube?
Oh, I haven't listened to him talking, and now I don't want to.
It's pretty. It's
I like
kind
him,
of adorable.
so
It's adorable.
Is it?
It's pretty cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big Jack guy with a lisp.
It's pretty cute. Yeah. Well, have you never noticed like all his products? It's like Savage pre-workout.
No.
Yeah. It's whey protein isolate.
I'm gonna be a savage today.
So yeah, no, actually, look at all of his raw supplements.
Go on.
It'd be like isolate, but it's spelled with a TH.
Yeah.
Or like Savage pre-workout.
Because they think he's Mike Tyson. He's gonna wear it.
Apparently, but yeah, he's had it for
Attaboy.
years. But that's adorable.
Jeez.
But yeah, no, I think, but it really, and it's like these athletes will go as far as they want to go. Yeah, there you go. Isolate protein. It is delicious protein, actually.
Is it?
Oh, it's
Okay.
really, really
Yeah.
good. Expensive, but really good.
Yeah.
Like, I'll pay the extra.
I have the mutant stuff, and it's I gotta be careful with proteins because some of them are hard on my guts. But
Well, it's probably the
mutant-
lactose, eh? Like if you have the,
I think it's probably why when I eat a pint of ice cream, I pay for it.
more than likely, yeah.
I love ice cream.
You gotta
though.
get the.
That's another
you know
thing
what, they
Devin and I
used
have in
to-
common.
They used to have it. They used to have it at Costco. It was the Kaizen. It
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah.
the,
The
it was
Kaizen
a
protein.
Canadian.
Yep.
It was a tub. It was like
That one
KAI.
destroyed my guts. I gave it away. I think
Really?
I gave it to Emily. Yeah.
Are we talking about the same one? It's like
Maybe not.
It's a squarish tub.
No, mine was a white
No, not casein. Kaizen.
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 Yeah, I remember the name. Maybe
Yeah.
that's not the
So
one.
they had a
though.
hydrosolate, which it was like 31 gram scoop, and it was
Right.
like 30 grams of protein.
Okay.
Didn't taste amazing because like there's nothing else in it but protein.
Right.
But like, oh my god, your gut was totally fine. Yeah, it was
have to
great
try
stuff.
that,
And
yeah.
But I don't know what happened to it.
Right.
It's a Canadian company. Never seen it again at Costco.
Yeah, I gotta be careful, but I'm willing to try some new things. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
So
But I
yeah.
do know they do destroy my guts. Were we done talking about Alec? Or how
I think
were
we
at with
covered
that?
everything. We hit injuries. We hit athletes getting as good as they want to get.
Yeah. Just a good guy. Just
Yeah. Very
give
very
us an
friendly.
assignment. I'm curious about the assignment. I'm a little more
looking forward to
a little more
that.
interested. Yeah, we were talking
I think
about it
look,
there.
it'd be really valuable for you.
Yep.
I think just to get an idea of how programming is, because have you ever written a program?
No.
So that'd be really valuable for you.
Yeah, I am curious about coaching. I definitely know I'm not a coach right now. I feel like I'm good at helping, tips, advice. I
I think
know
you
where
would
people
have a
should
hard
be.
time taking the responsibility on for someone else's
might.
success.
Yeah,
I think that would really weigh on you.
yeah. I might take it a little too personally, and
Yeah. Whereas for me, it's like if someone doesn't do the program and then doesn't get results, I'm like, what'd you expect?
It wouldn't be about the money for me. I wouldn't do it for the money, because like Devin doesn't do it
money's-
for the money either.
you
He
don't
charges
really-
almost nothing.
Yeah,
but,
you don't really get that much
yeah.
money from it.
But yeah, I think I would be more disappointed in the person, maybe.
Yeah.
I
that's fair.
just because it'd be like, why can't you try? You know what I mean? Like, and if you're giving me lines all the time, it might not go good.
And that's where I have a couple of Gen Pop clients,
Right.
and it's like I just kind of temper my expectations.
Yeah.
It's not really an area I love to live in,
Right.
so I try to not really do it.
Right.
It's rewarding in its own way, but it's kind of like I know that's not where I thrive.
Right.
I thrive in pushing people and being a bad influence on training days to get a couple
good at
extra
that.
pounds. I'm
Yeah,
great at that.
really good at that.
But you've never missed with me.
That's true. You're going to be here
I'm a
tomorrow.
good
It's
influence.
5 a.m. I got to do log.
There we go, done. I'll sleep over. I'll sleep
I'm
right
already
there.
stressing out about
I'll
it.
sandbag over there.
Yeah.
I can chill.
There's
Pillow.
nothing more anxiety stricken. Coach Penner programmed you a new session. Oh, my blood. I want to check my blood pressure one day before I get that notification.
Probably
and
not a
see.
bad idea. See what
Yeah,
spikes.
it's just.
Plug in
And then I
my
read
finger
it and I'm
sensor.
happy, but happy, sad, emotional, mad.
Yeah.
It's quite an array of feelings.
I think you're
Well, we
got
got to smash it. So, yeah, and then we just get out there and we smash it. He gives me an itoto.
Exactly. But at least you're aware. You're self-aware.
Oh yeah, no, I know I'm a basket case.
Yeah, it's okay. That's normal. We're all a little crazy in this sport.
Yeah. But yeah.
But no, yeah, Alec, honestly, super nice guy, very helpful.
Yep. Thank you to Iron Age for putting that on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, good seminars this year. Oh, I count.
I hope
in the last 6 months. Nathan was a very good seminar.
And I sure hope he doesn't lose money on stuff like that.
Yeah,
like I would hate
joke
for
about
that,
that. But it's like, Tyler,
we joke about
if you guys
but...
are losing money, like I know Devin lost money on Nathan, but that's Devin's own fault for not knowing conversion rates.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit less sympathy for him there.
Especially Mr. Math Man. So
especially Mr. I live 2 minutes from the border.
Yeah.
I would definitely know the conversion rate. It's like,
it's bad.
It's like, it changed.
It's very
I'm
bad.
getting gas. Like, whatever. Yeah, it is bad right now.
But no, seriously, we don't want people to lose money on stuff like that.
Like,
to put a bad taste in Tyler's mouth, Devin's mouth for bringing these people in. If it's a case of it costing a little bit more, well, maybe that's what it is.
I mean, and even with Alec now, right? So he's given us this project where you got to write a 16-week program, and he's going to do a one-on-one call with everybody and go over it. That's insane.
That's insane. Yeah,
For
that's way above and beyond
for
what we paid for the course. Yeah,
it's like, dude, that's completely unreasonable.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey,
anybody who bitches about that, getting punched in the teeth.
Yeah. No, but honestly, it's like, yes.
I'll be behind him.
But honestly, and it's like for $85, that's a steal.
Yeah.
And even for $85, the time that I spent with him was worth that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Devin.
I think the powerlifting community could have benefited a lot from that.
Yes. I don't.
Like, I feel like they're a little bit too in their little nutshell.
But to be fair, and like, this is not me casting stones. It's always the same group of people at those seminars.
It is. Yep.
Even like local athletes, like it's usually the same handful of people.
Yep.
And I don't think it's a coincidence that the people who tend to be there tend to be at the higher level.
Fair. Yep.
I have no problem saying that.
Nope, and that's I agree 100%.
If you took offense to that, you should probably come to some seminars and probably
Get
learn
better.
some things.
Yeah.
Episode 3, we're doing call-outs now.
Episode 3 is all like 80% call-outs.
But honestly, it's like, look, if Garrett can drive in from Brandon to see Nathan.
Yeah. Yeah, and the only reason he couldn't make it to Alec was his kid at a hockey tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, it's hockey.
Yeah.
He'll be there next year.
I got a soft spot for hockey, so
that's fair.
Kids hockey.
Never
I
played
miss
it
so bad. Yeah.
Never played it.
I coached my son for like 10, 15 years, and that was the best. Just getting out there and yelling at people, yelling at parents.
Okay.
That's
We'll
where
have to get to the ODR.
Yeah, I'm gonna yell at some people.
Some skating.
If I can still skate.
But it's like, so I love the seminars. I hope they keep bringing them in. And I agree with Tyler where bring in the good minds, not the, because like, look,
Wayne Gretzky was a great hockey player.
Yes. Would I love to meet Brian Shaw in person?
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really want to go to a seminar with him.
No. And I think you and I are similar in the nerding out phase of just information. You just need, I always need information. You know what I mean?
And on all seriousness, about 90% of what I take in is kind of like, get out. Don't need that, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I will agree with. I mean, like, great example. Basically, with the curiosity, we could argue, hey, we're both science-based, but I don't really give a crap about the most recent study about length and partials and all that. I don't care.
Yeah.
There's this whole war in the hypertrophy world about, like, bulking's overrated and you should only
ice
do length
baths
and partials.
are bad for you. Ice
that.
baths are good for you.
But here's the thing. Like, ice baths are bad for hypertrophy.
Yeah.
It's proven.
Right.
But that said, I don't care. It makes me feel good.
That's 100%. That's where I'm at.
Right? But it's like the things like, like foam rolling is not good for recovery.
Right.
It's a pain management tool.
Right.
And those kind of things I like learning where it's like, okay, like what is actually beneficial? Because then it's like, I'm not stressing out like, oh my goodness, I did get my hour of foam rolling in. It's like, it wasn't doing anything for you anyways. It's just pain relief.
Yep.
So if you can live with the pain, you're fine. Pop an ibuprofen. Same effect.
Pop 12 ibuprofen.
Right. Oh, a little guy like you.
4. 2 a day for sure. First thing in the morning, 2 Advil every
first
day.
thing.
Yeah.
But I think like, having that curiosity to know what does work, what doesn't work, I think that it really gives you a bigger base to build off of. And if you're curious about those things and you're willing to be proven wrong,
Yep.
then you have a bigger Rolodex of things
Toolbox,
to pull, bigger toolbox to pull
Yep.
things out of, right?
Yep.
Like you just have more places.
But you can
to go.
very, very openly see the people that are using the same tools over and over again and getting the same results over and over and over again. And you almost feel bad for them. They're posting their lifts, but you can scroll back a year, it's the exact same numbers. You can scroll back another year, it's the exact same numbers. How many times can you squat, bench, and deadlift before you just kind of, how do you not get bored of it by now?
Yeah. Well, listen, I have one client now, young powerlifter, and he's coming off a back injury. And I told him, I was like, okay, we're going to be doing a lot of volume. And he's like, I was like, we'll monitor your back.
Yeah.
But it's going to be very submaximal.
But he wants to lift heavy weights.
He wants to lift heavy weights.
Right.
Right. And it's like, no, we're going to back this off. So I've got him squatting 75% of his 1RM for
Right.
triples.
Right.
And he's like, it's a lot of volume. Like, if it's easy, shorten the rest time.
Yeah.
Period. It's like SSB, like push this heavy. Like, we'll leave 1 or 2 in the tank.
Right.
But it's like, you adapt and you learn. He's like, I can't really get down to the bar for deficits. Like, all right, no problem. Like, if that hurts, okay, fine. We'll swap it out with RDLs. We'll see how that feels.
Yep.
If that bothers you, then we'll find another workaround. Maybe it's
Elevation or something.
right? Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Build it. If you got to build it from the top down, you build it from the top down. Or you,
Yeah. Or even, hey, maybe it's just pause deadlifts.
Yep.
Because all it is, I'm trying to just reinforce that starting position because he's very inconsistent.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, if I want to reinforce that start position, my go-tos are either a deficit because it just makes it longer, so you're expressing force for longer. If
Yeah.
you get in a bad position,
Right.
you'll gas out before you finish the lift.
Right.
Or with
Helps you get the
pause,
hips down.
if you pause just off the ground and you're not in a good starting position, you're going to fall over.
Right.
So it really helps to just reinforce that good
Weight on the
starting
heels.
spot.
Yep.
Yeah. I said I have one client where I told him, I was like, I don't want you rolling your deadlift towards you anymore.
Yep.
To start, because it puts you out of position. Like, it's an equipped lifting thing. You don't need it. And
Yep.
we're working pretty light, but again, like, the numbers are going up very rapidly.
Yep.
And then already in 3 weeks of pause deadlifts, he's eliminated the rolling.
Right.
And his deadlifts look better than when we started.
Nice.
So it's like, I'm very happy with that progress.
Yep.
But it's like you have that tool chest to reach into to go,
Right.
okay, here's an issue I need to address. Here's my preferred option. Oh, that doesn't work. We go to option B, option C, option D, right? Like,
Right. Yep.
But then when you go to these seminars and you learn, that's where that kind of stuff comes in.
Yep. 100%.
So,
There's a lot
we're
there.
coming up on the hour and a half here.
Yeah, we better shut her down pretty soon.
Yeah, it's
There's
past
still a
past
lot
my
to talk
bedtime.
about. It's
There
fun.
is. Save it for next week.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us.
We're going to make a post, right?
I'll make a post.
We're going to make a post.
Shelby,
We're going to get that figured out.
Get on the Canva, make us a post. Thank
We can
you.
shout out the other podcasts. Have you listened to Jackie Oshevsky's podcast? Strength.
I have.
Strong Woman.
Yeah.
Strong
I've
Woman
listened,
Chronicles?
I've listened to more episodes of it than Shelby has, and it doesn't
Really?
apply to me as much.
Yeah. 1 minute.
But
no,
Jackie
yeah.
Oshevsky's podcast, fantastic.
Yep.
And she's getting
She's got the mics.
better
Did you see the
every
mics?
time. Yeah, she got the same mics.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, oh, you got the mics too.
Yeah, it's hilarious. No, she's getting better every time. She's coming to the Arnold too, I think.
Yep.
So that's going to be great.
Yeah.
She's on a tear.
Yeah, she had Bailey on there. I like Bailey and Josh. They're good
Yeah,
people.
I'm so excited Josh is coming.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah,
love
we had
Josh.
a lot of fun with Josh at Westerns. Just a super dude.
Just a good
dude.
guy,
So
yeah.
it was me, Josh, and Billy.
Right.
And so we weren't going to do this. Jan chose the cutest strongman. I think me, Josh, and Billy might be the silliest.
Okay. Yeah.
That I would argue that.
I would say Josh is very silly. I don't know Billy.
Billy's
You are
Billy's
very
a jokester.
silly.
Yeah, Billy's a jokester.
Josh the showman. I like
So
his
to be
showman.
fair, when I went up on the podium for nationals, Billy was like doing the reeling me in there.
Yeah.
He's
Nice.
a great guy.
So
Great
corny.
guy. So we're very silly. It'll be a good time. So I'm looking forward
But yeah,
to
if
that.
you're looking for podcasts, there's that. There's the Iron Age Radio,
Yeah, Iron Age Radio.
and of course, number one, us.
Always.
Always.
Number one in your hearts.
Yeah. Give us a whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
There we go. Yeah, baby. So until next time, we will put a post and actually upload on time. And
We're gonna get interactive yet.
Yes, I'll do my job so Gord doesn't beat me.
Remember, we had a lot of people posting this week. Right?
Plus, we got a lot of tags.
Jan, we had
Corey.
Corey Aiken.
Yeah, who's
my
no
boy.
longer a Manitoban.
Yeah, he's
But
like an honorary Manitoban.
Manitoban in our hearts.
Yeah, he's like kind of Manitoban.
Where is he now? Is he in Thunder Bay?
Ontario,
Where did he end up?
somewhere in Ontario.
Because if it's anywhere Thunder Bay.
No, it's farther. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's like
He's
Thunder
out
Bay.
of-
That's
he's
like
out
the
of driving
cutoff.
distance. Yeah,
I think Thunder Bay to me is like that's the cutoff for your Manitoban.
we're gonna have to go. We're just gonna go fly out there and go hang out with him.
I just know Yoster Ready is further because he was thinking about driving to the Arnolds.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Corey, where are you from? Tell us again.
Corey, help us.
Help us.
We love you, Corey.
Anyways. All right. Catch
All
you
right,
guys
we'll
next
see you
week.
guys next week.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.